Welcome on into the Josh Reese Show. I'm your host, Josh Reese, and today the Houston Rockets have a brand new owner as soon as it gets ratified by the rest of the NBA owners. But until that time, we get to think and pontificate about Tilman Fertitta buying the Houston Rockets from Leslie Alexander for $2.2 billion Dr. Evil money dollars. Insane. Of course, that is a new record price, up from, I think it was a straight $2 billion for the Clippers when Steve Ballmer bought it. Yeah, it was $2 billion in 2014 for the Clippers, and now the Rockets just recently, September 5th, 2017, have been sold for $2.2 billion. That is fucking insane. Guys, it is crazy. Lots of thoughts, and probably won't get to all of them until Fertitta actually has a press conference detailing about, his future plans and how he plans to run the franchise and all this stuff. But it's nothing but good news. There's a lot of good in Tilman Fertitta owning the Houston Rockets and the Rockets staying local. With Tilman Fertitta, it is an almost guarantee. It's a 99.999999999% chance the Rockets will never move. Fertitta is true to his Houston roots. He is a big supporter of the Houston Cougars. Big supporter of the Texans. I believe the Crawford boxes are actually the Landry's Crawford boxes. I mean, he is through and through to all Houston sports, and he actually originally tried to buy the Rockets. If I remember the story correctly, it was him and Les Alexander that both tried to buy the Rockets at the same time. Les submitted a slightly higher bid, so Les ended up owning the Rockets back in the 1990s, in 1993. And now he's buying the Rockets from Leslie Alexander. This time, more than 20 years later. So, in those times, Les Alexander has been a great owner for the Houston Rockets. He has helped the Rockets win back-to-back championships. He has always kept the Rockets competitive, and he's always made sure the Rockets have had a star. There's been very few times throughout the Rockets' career underneath Les Alexander that they have not had a star, and be it Hakeem Olajuwon, Yao Ming, Steve Francis, Tracy McGrady, now James Harden. It's hard to remember that little stretch of time where the Rockets pretty much just had Goran Dragic and Kyle Lowry. The Rockets have always had superstars, and that's mainly because Les Alexander's edict to the front office has always been to stay competitive, and that drive from Les Alexander has always made them go out and grab guys. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I remember them swinging hard on Stromile Swift and Kelvin Cato. But those ended up being disasters. But Les Alexander took risks. He took big risks. He took Yao Ming from China, number 1 overall. While Yao was considered a good prospect, I mean, there's still a lot not to be known about Yao. That ended up working out great, but his legs ended up not carrying him all the way. Les Alexander okayed the deal to trade for Tracy McGrady. He's always making sure the Rockets are competitive, and I think that's something that Tilman Fertitta is going to uphold as well. Fertitta is, at least on the U of H front, he is a massive proponent of U of H being treated like how they should be treated, a very good team and a team that should be in a Power 5 conference. And Fertitta was very, very outspoken during the talks with the Big 12 that soured. He was very outspoken during Tom Herman's exit. I think he will be a very good owner for the Houston Rockets, and I think he will try to keep up that mantle that Les Alexander had into, always stay competitive. And I think one of the things that will be nice about Tilman Fertitta is that he'll be a more accessible owner than Les Alexander. While I did enjoy Les Alexander and his commitment to winning, he was not the most accessible owner. And when he did talk to the media, he wasn't angry, but he was curt. Not, I don't know if curt's the right word either. He was abrupt. He just was very, very short. He had what he wanted to say, and that was it. There was no he didn't really give you too much when you talked to him. But Tilman Fertitta, um, he's grown up in the media. He has his own. He had. I don't know if it's still going on, but he had the show, The $1 Billion Buyer, which oddly enough now takes a whole new meaning today. But Tilman Fertitta has been in the media spotlight for a long time. He understands how to talk, and he really seems to um, cater towards the fans. I'm gonna play you a clip that I found from when Tilman Fertitta was talking to Matt Musel on Channel 11 KHOU here in Houston, and it was he feels the fans, and you can feel that in his comments. There's a lot of passion in his comments, and we'll play that to close everything out. Uh, but yeah, lots to think about with Tilman Fertitta, and there's lots of good. I'm not seeing very much of a downside to Tilman Fertitta owning the Houston Rockets. From what I saw, it wasn't from Woj. It was from the ESPN guy that always tweets out the numbers and the prices of things. Darren Rovell, there we go. I think Darren Rovell said that if Tina for Tillman gets ratified by all the other NBA owners. Sorry, I'm having a hard time speaking, guys. My mind is going a million miles a minute thinking about Tillman Fertitta and trying to figure out how the implications of this. But Darren Rovell tweeted that if Fertitta gets ratified by the rest of the NBA owners, that the Rockets will not be able to be bet on at his casinos and at the Golden Nugget. So that is one downside. If you do go to the Golden Nugget, you won't be able to bet on the Houston Rockets. But I think this is going to be a good thing for the NBA in general, considering that Fertitta does have a stake in casinos and gambling. This might be another one of the swings to break down that wall of gambling on sports, and I think that would do nothing but good things and kind of help increase some more funds for owners all around the league. Because with Tilman Fertitta buying the Rockets with $2.2 billion, it's kind of hard to see where he's going to make some profit from, because all the people in the NBA are telling you that the NBA TV money is starting to run out. There's not much more money from the TV that NBA owners can get from. They're pretty much tapped out. The other markets that the NBA is still starting to dabble in is streaming rights and also gambling. And with Tilman Fertitta being a casino owner, it might help with some of those stumbling blocks down the road, and kind of help him increase his, kind of help him get some of his money back. Because from what I could see, Tilman Fertitta was he was like 2.5 billion or something like that. So I'm sure he's going to need some money back. So a little bit of the nuts and bolts of the deal. Tilman Fertitta is going to be a sole owner of the Houston Rockets. Zero minor partners are going to be in this deal with Tilman Fertitta. He's going to be the only person to own the Houston Rockets. Now, this is from Tilman Fertitta. This was a press release from the Rockets. Quote, "I am truly honored to have been chosen as the next owner of the Houston Rockets. This is a life dream come true. Les Alexander has been one of the best owners in all of sports, and I thank him immensely for this opportunity. He has the heart of a champion. Lastly, out of respect for the NBA's approval process, I cannot say no more other than I am overwhelmed with emotion to have this opportunity in my beloved city of Houston. Now, this is Les Alexander's message to Tillman Fertitta. I am excited to welcome and pass the torch to Tilman. He is a Houstonian business leader and committed to success and excellence of all of the Rockets, both on and off the basketball court. I have personally known Tilman for over 24 years, and I don't think I could have found anyone more capable of continuing the winning tradition of the Houston Rockets. Like I said earlier, I think Tillman Fertitta will continue where Les Alexander has left off, and I don't see him starting to take a step back. Now that Fertitta's here, we got to save money. We're not going to try to trade for Carmelo Anthony. I do believe that Fertitta will continue not only for Carmelo Anthony, but he'll continue to take those big risks and try to make those big acquisition moves that Les Alexander has been accustomed to making. Maybe next year it's trying to get LeBron James to Houston. Maybe it's something else down the road, but Tilman Fertitta will be a very good owner for the Houston Rockets. In my humble opinion, that's what I think. So I'm going to leave you with this to bouncing out of here. This is an interview between Matt Musil and Tilman Fertitta talking about Tom Herman's exit and kind of what's next for U of H. Now, listen to these quotes, and afterwards, tell me you don't want this type of owner for the Houston Rockets.
And everybody is an opportunist. I'm an opportunist. And when you have a great football coach and you're not in a Power 5 conference, which is a bunch of BS in itself, you start feeling it, and that's why we gave Tom $1 million raise last year. But you got to remember, this isn't about money to Tom. Tom's a football coach. Does Tom want to make a lot of money? Yes. But we would match Texas on the money. It's about competing for national championships every year.
The thing about it is, though, had Tom and his Cougars won the games they should have won, they would be competing for a national championship at the end of this year.
They could have. What's funny when you go back and you look at it, after Navy, we were ranked 11th. Every team in front of us lost except for Alabama. Right now, if we would have beat Memphis and SMU, Houston would be sitting there with a very good chance of getting into the Final Four.
After the Big 12 snub, then you thought, oh, there's another log on the fire?
Big log on the fire. We kind of felt like if Tom had a great year, in which he did, he beat 2 number 3s in the country, that was a setback for all of us. And I think it was a setback for Tom. It was a setback for the fans when the fans came to our homecoming game and it wasn't totally sold out, but yet we were still a 7-2 team. You can't blame Tom. It's unfortunate, but it's got to be hard on these kids when you're telling them, don't go to Texas, come to the University of Houston because this is going to be a better place for you, and then you go to Texas. When you start getting to the $5 million plus, it's not about the money. It's about what program can I compete the most for national championships.
So you're talking about if you don't get into a big conference, which I know Hunter is going to continue to pursue.
It's all of our jobs.
You don't want to hear a stepping stone job.
We are not going to be a stepping stone job year in and year out. And the next football coach that we hire, he isn't going to be a stepping stone after 2 years because we're going to write the contract a little differently.
That sounds like a guy that I would want owning a franchise here in Houston. And now after he gets ratified by the NBA owners, he will. So that's all I've got today, guys. Feel free to leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about Tilman Fertitta owning the Houston Rockets. Let me know if you're happy about it. I want to hear from the people that think there might be a downside. Let me know what you think could be a downside from Tilman Fertitta owning the Houston Rockets. But I suspect, like you're only going to think about the positive things because I'm still having a hard time thinking about negative things from Tilman Fertitta. Also, If this is your first time viewing my YouTube channel, please give me a subscribe. I would appreciate that. Also, make sure to give me a follow on Twitter at Mr. Joshua. And that's all I've got, guys. Till next time, see you later.